10 years ago, we lived through some of the most intense paranormal activity imaginable. That led us to research haunted locations to capture evidence proving the existence of supernatural beings.
Okay, can you... Oh, full caution, you're gonna leave tonight.
And help our families being tormented as we
once
were.
those kids alone, too.
And what we discovered is that the South Coast is wickedly haunted.
That was incredible. That's what I'm talking about. That's proof.
That's right. That's proof. That's actually my favorite part of the beginning. How you doing? I'm Todd.
I'm Marissa.
Welcome to Wickedly Haunted on New Bedford Guide. It is great to be back. We have had a fast and furious and bizarre month altogether. We started the month off with an insane investigation of the haunted Victorian, the S.K. Pierce Mansion, which you will see in future weeks. The following week, we did a local investigation that you are going to see tonight. It's a bit of an emotional case as the family that we helped out, one wanted to validate that a haunting indeed did occur, and they were not sure whether or not it was even could have been family members who had recently passed. It's something we've never actually dealt with before. We've dealt with plenty of home cases in the area. But as far as family being involved in the haunting itself, not something we had dealt with. It was certainly an emotional night, which you're going to get to see tonight. We followed that up with a special spooky South Coast investigation of Palmer River Churchyard Cemetery, in which I gashed my leg here and ended up with how many stitches? 5 stitches?
5 stitches.
5 stitches. I did, however, keep investigating for like almost 2 hours after with my leg profusely bleeding all over the graveyard.
Which really doesn't even touch what happened this past
week.
And
then if you think that's bad, we did a public ghost hunt last week at Middleborough Town Hall, which was absolutely incredible. Place was absolutely haunted, wickedly haunted, doesn't even begin to describe it. Incredible place. And last week, after our daughter's birthday party, I suffered a massive seizure, which left me...
Grand mal seizure
that lasted 40 minutes.
Right here on this couch. It was pretty frightening.
And I thought I was going to the light. I was telling myself to go to the light. I thought it was a stroke. I thought I was dying. Marissa thought I was dying. It was horrific. I woke up a day later in Boston. And now 5+ days after that, here we are. But we wanted to do a show tonight. And we wanted to show this case because the clients are happier, hopefully. We're about to find out as we're about to talk to the client. And we wanted to get back to you guys, because we love doing the show.
If you want to talk about dedication, devotion, really, I should
be resting.
For sure.
But I finished up the video, and we're going to do the show tonight. I'm going to do the best I can. And, please get involved. Make it worth it that we came on. Please comment, ask questions, either about the case, about paranormal investigating in general. You can ask personal questions to me and Marissa if we decide to answer them. Please just ask questions and comments. What we're going to do is we're going to show video clips. We're going to do a quick analysis, and then we will answer your questions and comments. We're going to bring on the client in a second, Jessica. Before we do, as always, we just want to mention that if you yourself are experiencing strange phenomena in the house and you would like our research group, Relatively Paranormal, to come investigate like we did for Jessica, all you have to do is either go to our website, relativelyparanormal.com. There is a booking form at the end. Or you can go to our email, relativelyparanormal@gmail.com, and just shoot us a line. You can also comment on here, and we'll try to get back to you that way. Our website, just to throw it out there, has awesome video players on it of full investigations we've done, quick evidence clips, some of our best evidence clips, a photo album with over 200 pictures of evidence that we've captured over the years, information about us, and links to our public Facebook group called Relatively Paranormal as well, that anyone is welcome to join. And of course, please check out our YouTube and TikTok channels, Relatively Paranormal on both, and please subscribe while you're there. Why not? Awesome content. Please subscribe, help us out, help support what we do so that we can keep bringing you the best paranormal evidence on TV or the internet, because that is what we strive to do. But right now, let's get back to the helping part, which is what we love best. We love going and helping local families far more than we love going to famous haunted locations. And Marissa, tell them one more thing about helping. What you always say is, you're not putting us out. Just contact us. We're more than happy to come out and to assist you in any way, even if it's just validation. It's something that we love doing. We don't charge. We don't charge. You're not putting us out. Just give us a call. We do have a few investigations lined up for this coming month, November and December. So there have been a couple people that have reached out to us already. But there's plenty of time, plenty of room for you guys. So we come out and help as fast as we can, believe me, especially when there's families involved. So without further ado, let's bring on this week's client, the subject of this week's investigation, Jessica Blanchard. Jessica, how are we doing?
Good. No, things have been good since you guys left. No real issues or concerns or anything.
Good to see you.
Hang on, Jess. We just got to turn up the volume a little bit. You're a little. All right. Can you hear us okay?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Perfect. Okay.
How are you doing, Jess?
Good. No, things have been good. No issues since you guys left, and definitely got a lot of validation. Even watching videos that I took, hearing things that definitely were amazing to hear.
Yeah, you're going to hear some stuff tonight that we haven't sent you yet, that you haven't heard yet. Okay. Maybe emotional. You may recognize some of the voices, but that's what you wanted to begin with, was to find out who was there. And as I mentioned in the intro, you weren't sure if it was family. Why don't you give everybody just a quick idea of your mindset and what you thought may have been going on when you contacted us?
So this is my childhood home. I grew up with it. I grew up in here my entire life. The only death that we know happened in our home was my grandmother. She passed peacefully home. Obviously, before my grandparents owned this home, we had no idea who lived here or if anyone's passed here. But I've been in and out of this house my entire life. We recently just moved back last year. And last year when we moved back downstairs, we lived with my mom for a couple of months. I was giving my son milk in the middle of the night, and he was actually sleeping in the room my grandma passed in. And in the corner of my eye, I just kind of saw like a white figure walk by, and I kind of jumped, but I thought it was my mom because she was in the room next door. But when I left the room, there was no one. Like, her door was shut. It wasn't her. I've heard voices over the baby monitor that were not scary, just, soothing to my son almost. My son's heard knocking on his door. He's 3. He'll tell me it's a ghost. That's not fun to hear. I've heard wake up mommy in my room one morning, and it was a little girl's voice, which we do have a daughter, but we also have a daughter who's passed. And, there was no one in my room. I woke up and there was not a single soul in my room. So that freaked me out a little bit. We've heard whistling, like really creepily whistling. I have a video of that there's just a whistling behind us, but there was nobody else in the home besides me and my kids. So there's just a lot of things that's happened that I thought I was just going to be losing my mind until you guys came and definitely verified I'm not losing my mind, and it's definitely family, and hopefully that's all.
Yeah, I mean, the one thing that stuck out to us was when you and your mom told us that your grandma at the end would communicate through knocking if she needed your help, and you were downstairs, because you folks own both. Yeah, we own both. Own the whole house. So grandma was on the second floor, and if mom was on the first floor and she needed you, she would knock. But then you told us you were hearing communication through the spirits through the knocking. Yeah,
before my grandma passed, like, that's how she would communicate with my mom. She lived on first floor. My grandma lived on the first floor, and my mom lived with her, and that's how she would communicate. And then, like I said, we've been hearing knocking. Like, my son's been telling me he hears knocking. And the funny thing is, my son's room right now is my mother's room, like, is right above my mother's room. And right next door to his room is the room my grandma passed away, but, like, obviously a different floor. So it's almost like, is that her way of just kind of knocking and communicating away? Yeah. So that's something that's weird.
We know spirits will try to get your attention any way they can, any way they know. And, you know, when they're newer to the spirit world, obviously without a body, they'll go to the easiest thing that they can figure out. And if that was the last way she communicated, maybe that was the easiest thing for her to figure out to get your attention.
Yeah.
From what we've gone through all the evidence and from what we've reviewed, I don't see anything that's dangerous there.
Right.
That's good to know.
You know, we did hear some negative things, but that could have just been something passing by because we do amp up the atmosphere. You were there.
Yeah.
You know how we do it. We do give plenty of energy to the ghost. Sometimes that does thin that veil a little bit, and something in the area may come through and speak its mind. But we close out when we leave, and that closes that door as well. So, you know, I didn't hear anything vicious that you need to be worried about, but it certainly was an emotional investigation for all of us. Even to see you, you know, get emotional like that, like we're human. And what people forget is that the spirits are human as well.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, there are inhuman entities, but 90% of them are human entities or spirits, and they're human beings too. And when you put all that together, it can certainly make for an emotional evening. How's mom doing since we left?
She's been good. Like she said, she's glad to know there's nothing evil or worrisome in the house. It was definitely nice to get a couple of closure for a couple of things we had asked and got closure on that we needed to know. No, she was happy through it all. Honestly, we were very, very happy with it all.
And you know what, Jess? I mean, we got a lot of responses, like immediate responses, but you're gonna find it was Todd, while he was going through all the videos, there was so many EVPs, like so many voices that were responding to your questions that you were asking. Only, of course, we couldn't hear it with our ears, but there were, you know, there was a woman that was responding to you the entire time, and you'll be able to hear it now. They're pretty amazing. They're pretty amazing EVPs, to say the least. I think they're awesome.
Yeah, and I went back and looked through the list of names that we had researched. I couldn't find anything with a Beth. The first EVPs are crazy that they're clear as day. It says Beth come back or Beth back, something like that.
Yeah, I heard the video you sent me, and it was definitely emotional to hear the voice because they were definitely crying out for something, and that was emotional, sad.
Yeah, but the voice didn't sound familiar either.
No, it didn't sound familiar. I mean, obviously it sounded like an older lady, but not like my grandmother. And like I said, we don't have anyone Beth in our family. We have Bethany, but I don't think that would have been her.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the one, you know, we didn't see too many crazy apparitions or anything, but the one crazy thing at your house was the fact that we had devices going off all over the place.
Yeah.
And even the Paralysis app was giving us very, very intelligent responses to your questions, things that were popping into you and your mom's heads, things that went right along with what we were saying, along with everything else going nuts at the same time. But I'll tell you what, we thank you so much for coming on.
No, I really appreciate it.
Do you have any questions for us before we get to the videos?
I'm excited to see everything, to be honest with you. So I'm really looking
Well,
forward.
we're excited for you to see it too. I put a bit of work into it, probably when I shouldn't have been, but that's all right. And if you ever need us, you know how to get a hold of us.
Yes.
Like I said, we're always happy to come back and cleanse the house if necessary. You know, we just need access to every inch of the house, and I can go top to bottom.
We haven't used it yet, so
if you do need
it's just sitting there for emergencies, but we haven't used it.
Of course. Just if you just light it and go around each room, you know, say the Our Father or
call me up before you do it, and we'll break. Marissa, it doesn't matter, but there's a bit more of a process that it would be a bit in depth to even get onto it on this show. But without further ado, let's roll our first video. And please, if anyone is watching and you have questions or comments, throw them in. And after our analysis, we will answer anything you put up. Thank you, Jess. It's great to see
Jess.
you. We're glad things worked out for you.
Thanks.
Bye. All right. And let's roll the first video. And please put in those questions and comments. Get involved. We love hearing from you. Calling out to any spirits, any dead people, any ghosts, whatever you call yourself. My name is Todd. That's my wife Marissa over there. Jess here called us in to talk to you, to communicate with you, to find out who you are, what you need, if you need help, if you have a message, and basically just for us to touch base with you. You're not in trouble. We're not here to hurt you. We do have these gifts that we brought to you. We know that you have a hard time energy-wise, so you're going to see a couple of these black boxes. There's one over there on a big black stick called a tripod, and they have lightning on them. It says power plant. This is energy for you to use tonight to communicate with us, to talk to us, to manifest, to do whatever you want tonight. Tonight is your night. It's your night. We're going to be here for a couple hours, and we're here, if nothing but to try to help. So please take as much energy as you want. Use this energy from these boxes rather than from the equipment that we brought to communicate with you. We've brought several different things in order for you to get yourself known. The first one I'm going to turn on over here. Okay. Okay, let that calibrate. Okay, this box I'm going to show you real quick. Okay, this device right here. Let it calibrate a second. That's you. Back away for a minute. Back away for a second. Back away. Okay, can you touch it again now? Can you do that again? All you have to do is go near it. Do you see the metal antenna? You just have to go like that, and it'll let us know you're near. That's all you gotta do. Okay. There you go. All right, so I'm going to put this over here for you. Okay. Can you back away now? Okay. Can you touch it again now? Can you do it again? Oh, thank you. Okay. All right. If you lived in this house at one time, can you do that? Can you touch it again? We can use this to communicate. Go ahead and touch that device. It won't hurt you. Go ahead and touch the device. Is that you? I don't know what that's. Okay. Can you back away now? That's pretty quick. Okay. Just to confirm, you lived here at one time? Go ahead and touch it again. Tell us that you lived here at one time. Floor. Floor?
Is it floor?
Did you live on this floor? Did you live on the first floor? Did you live downstairs? To say yes, you just have to touch it. You just have to go near it like this. Just go like that. That's weird.
Show them the flashlight.
Alright, I brought another device here that I don't know how long you were on this earth, if you were around when there was flashlights, but if not, it's just...
Hair.
All you have to do is twist the end and a light is going to come on. It's not going to hurt you, it's just a light. It's a very, very easy way to communicate with us. We have never, ever not had a spirit been able to use this to communicate. And we can just ask yes and no questions by being able to turn the light on. Just twist the end of it like I'm doing right here. Okay? Just like that. Okay?
Yeah.
So if you can turn it off and on, it allows us to make sure that it's you that we're communicating with. So go ahead, can you twist it and turn it off? Yeah, there you go. Go ahead. Yeah, there you go. Excellent. Go ahead, twist it. Shut it off, and then I can ask you yes, no question.
Go ahead, a little bit more.
Good.
Excellent.
Excellent. Good job. Good job. Okay. Were you just touching that device over there before? Turn it on if that was you touching that before. You twist it back the other way. You're going to twist it the opposite way. Let me ask you this. If you're a relative...
Oh.
There you go. You can turn it on.
Don't want you. All right. Thank you. Thank you for
Well,
that.
they might have been a relative myself.
Oh.
Right,
Are you a
right.
relative?
Are you a relative of Jess and her mom?
Right.
Can you turn the light back on if you're related to these two ladies over here? Not Marissa. Jess, I'm sorry, what's your name?
Oh, they are related.
Relative. Okay, can you shut that off? Okay, thank you so much. Are you a female relative? If you're a female relative, go ahead and turn it on. Just have to twist it back the other way. If the answer is yes, turn it on. If the answer is no, then don't turn it on. Yes, okay. All right. Thank you. Okay. Are you maternal relative? Turn it on. If you are. Okay. You are. Okay. All right. Go ahead and turn it off. All right. Let me be more specific. Are you Jess's grandma? Are you Jess's grandmother? Can you turn it on if you are? Can you twist that on?
Yeah. That's a good thing to be able to see with this.
Can you turn it off for a second? Okay. If there are any other spirits here with you? Can you turn it on if there are any other spirits here with you? Are there any other human spirits here with you?
Yes.
There are. Okay.
Come in.
All right. What I'm going to do, go ahead and turn it off. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to count. When I get to the number of spirits that reside in this whole building, not just this apartment, this whole building, I want you to turn on the flashlight. Okay? You understand, okay? So, when I get to that number, so obviously you're number one, you said there's more than you. So you're number one, okay? Is there one other spirit in the building besides you? There's one other spirit. So it's you and... Go ahead, turn it off again.
Total two spirits?
So just to confirm, there's you and one other human spirit in this building. Go ahead and turn it on if that's true. Okay.
Two spirits, yeah.
All right. Can you turn it off so I can ask you another question? Did you have any other relatives else in the house?
Not in this house, just in general.
Just in general.
Ask if the other person is with us.
Is the other spirit here related to the family?
Yes.
You're female as well?
Somebody's coming up pretty funny.
Stare on that camera.
No, with my eyes.
So it's another female spirit? Okay. Turn it off if that's true. There's another female here. Okay. All right. And just to confirm, it's a female related to you. It's one of your relatives. You're here with a family member in spirit form. Is that correct? What did it say?
But wait, this is the second time it's said that.
Oh, they're waving. Because they're waving.
It's the light camera on. All right. So it's one of your female relatives here with you? Okay. All right, and that's always my least favorite question. Besides the two of you, is there any other entities in this house? That was okay. All right, can you shut that off again? Okay. Just to confirm. You're saying that there's something here that's not a human spirit?
Three. Oh, three? Oh. Three.
Three.
You said three?
There's like
That's-
3 beings here. So you're saying that it's you, another female spirit, and something else that is not a human spirit here, but is not a live person, correct? There's another entity here. Yes.
That is that the only kind of explanation?
Well, there's elementals.
Is that
there's-
a flashing face or
Three
sorry.
deaths. Okay, so I have older sister Lydia, who also passed away. She also lived here at some point. She lived here with her husband and her children before she moved out.
And there's also things that we've discovered that are human spirits
Mm-hmm.
that lie to other spirits, and
Correct.
to people, and say they're demonic to scare the hell out of them and bully them.
Yeah.
We call them bully spirits.
She just
Confirmed, yeah.
See, so, all right. So if there was a true like fallen angel demonic entity, they'd be throwing refrigerators at you. They'd be
Yeah.
gouging you. They'd be
I would have
burning
been gone a
you.
long time ago.
Okay? A human spirit can lift maybe a pound. A demonic spirit could pick me up and huck me across the room. I'm 180 pounds.
Yeah, no.
Okay, so if that was the case, you'd be smelling
You
rotten
told me that, yeah.
feces, meat. You'd be hearing pounding on the walls, scratching on the walls.
Missing,
This
yeah.
is going nuts though.
Mm.
So something here is at
Okay.
least telling her that
It is.
demon, I think. Go ahead, shut the light off. Is there something here telling you that it's a demon? Turn on the light if that's true. Is something bullying you? Yes.
Yeah. Really?
And it's the third time it said fear.
Is that it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
it's
said
a third
fear.
time.
It said fear me
Or maybe
earlier.
they're
Yeah.
afraid of whatever's here. These bully spirits, they basically just order the human spirits around and make them mess with people under threat of God knows what. But I don't know. I'm not in their
Right, I
world.
understand.
They say weird things like they threaten. We asked one time if there was a demon coming through within a graveyard of all places. So we could believe that because they're drawn to death and stuff like that. And if they know their spirits there, see, look at this. What we said is the demon lying to us? Is it tricking us? And they said, no, it's making us lie to you. And then at another place we had a human spirit apologize to us for lying to us and said the demon made me do it.
Right there, whether we're trying to help somebody out or whether we're at a famous haunted location in the middle of the woods, doesn't matter where. What you just saw is a good way of how we get answers, basic answers to begin with. We don't want to just turn on the spirit box right away and hear a bunch of things coming out of it. We can use the flashlight to get the yes and no answers, the REM pod, the EMF detector, and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And while at the same time, we're also getting answers in the form of EVP or electronic voice phenomenon, which when it says EVP with the quote and you hear that loud voice, those are voices imprinted on the digital technology that we are not hearing at the time, that I did not hear, that Marissa did not hear, just nobody in the room at that time heard. That is my blood sugar meter going off. Marissa's going to take over for a second. Go ahead. I got the meter. Just keep talking about EVPs and stuff.
So yeah, obviously we can't hear the EVPs while we're investigating, but it's always great to hear them afterwards when we're reviewing the evidence. We did have, constantly everything was going off at the same time, confirming that we did have some sort of spirit or entity communicating with us.
When you see the flashlights going off,
Mm-hmm.
and electronic instruments, the EMF detector goes off when it detects a high energy spike. We go around the house or the environment in the beginning to get a baseline idea of what it is, but there wasn't a lot of electromagnetic energy floating around that house to begin with. And, we try to make sure we flatline it out when we're using it. Anyway, if it goes off, the first thing I do is move a little bit. and ask whatever it is to back away. Now the REM pod, the odd thing is that every time I would go near it, you saw that I would put my hand near it and then move it away, and the REM pod immediately shuts off. That's how it's designed to work. The fact that I would move away and it would continue to go on for 30 seconds until I asked it to back away, and then it would shut off was strange, because usually that means that the entity can use it to communicate with us. But it was just really strange how it would continue to go off, but then not be able to replicate it. So I'm not really sure what was going on with that, but that is the top of the line, brand new REM pod. So I believe whatever it was kind of trying it out, but afraid of it at the same time.
Yeah.
I think I even asked it at some point. But it certainly was great to hear all the EVPs afterwards. Sometimes we get no EVPs. Sometimes they're nonstop.
And spirits all have like their own preference as to what equipment they'll use to communicate with us. Some will use all of it. Some will just use one piece. So that's why we have so many different ways.
That's exactly why.
Ways to communicate. Some things won't go off at all, in certain locations where that's all we'll get at another location. So,
but our goal is to get it all to go off.
Of course,
to be honest with
of course.
Corroborating evidence is what we call it. Just like in a murder investigation, if you get the DNA, you get the fingerprint, you get the blood, you get the eyewitness, you get the CCTV footage of the perpetrator. It's a slam dunk case. But when we got 5 different things going off, to us, it's a slam dunk that something paranormal is going on there. I'm not sure if there was any comments before we move on to the next video. If there is not, please get involved with the show. Listen, I came on tonight. Oh, look, here we go. So my name is Vera. I use my husband's page because I can't get into mine. So long story short, I had a horrible dream 2 nights ago with demons not letting me out of a house. And last night, my mom says I was screaming during my sleep, which I don't remember at all. That's from Javier. I don't know if you have other activity going on in the house. Spirits and demons and human spirits often come to us in our sleep or dream state because it's easy for them to basically access our minds and communicate with us that way, or pass along messages, or torment us or scare the hell out of us, whichever way you want to put it. In the very first haunted house Marissa and I lived in, we would have constant nightmares, and I'm talking night terrors, like horrific nightmares. So, I know for a fact that is one way that they can get to you. It says, great show tonight, as always. Thanks, you, Manny. We appreciate it, as always.
Hi, Donna.
Hi, Donna.
Thanks
How
for
you
watching
doing?
tonight.
We're glad to be back on for sure. Certainly glad to be alive. Glad you're not doing a memorial show or doing an investigation of this apartment, trying to talk to me, for God's sakes. Shut up. But all joking aside, it was scary.
Oh my God.
And I'm thrilled, absolutely thrilled to be here tonight and to still be with my family for sure. So let's move on to the second video where the investigation progresses a little bit, and we try to bring out different pieces of equipment and have a lot of success with it, in making further communication and documenting further evidence of paranormal activity at Jessica's house.
Is this one of the spirits in the house heavy? Turn the light off.
Right now, I say turn it on.
Turn the light on if you're Emmy. Oh.
This thing's hitting this bag, Marissa.
Yeah, this thing's got something knocked out. I mean, not knocked out. It's
right.
got something, it's got a
So-
dark entity right
right.
next to you, the size of you, same height of
There's the
you.
boxes, they're over there.
Yeah.
Okay, can you back away? Can you touch this again? Go ahead and touch that again, it won't hurt you. It's still hitting this bag. It's going up, 0.4.
It's exactly.
0.5, 0.6, 0.7. Go ahead, keep touching it, it'll be 0.8, 0.9. Is that you? Get on the way if this is you.
It's standing right in front of the flashlight.
0.1. This is beeping when it's sensing a high energy spike. No, the boxes are over there, they only have a range of like a foot. But this other light is only static electricity. So, spirits have that static charge. I don't know if you ever feel that around here.
You?
Static charge is them. Okay, yes, oh yeah, it's you, okay. Are you Jess's grandma? Can you make that beep again if you are? Look at this static being messed up.
Yeah, I don't push it up to
Wait.
the dick. Wow.
Look at that, beeping, okay, yep. The light's going off, right. EMS detector's going up, 1.1. There goes the dog.
Oh, how much is it? So, when it knocks somebody out here, when it knocks somebody
Yeah.
out.
There you
Yeah,
go.
that Todd.
Yeah.
Are you trapped here?
That darker
If you're
spirit.
trapped here, make this beep again.
A spirit will come out really
Yes.
dark, like
Okay.
purple,
Mm-hmm.
right here.
Ooh, I just hit almost a 2.0 on this.
But
Do you want the light? Are you looking for the light? You made a beep when you said you were trapped. 0.1. So are you trapped here? 0.2, 0.3. Are you happy here? With your family? 0.3. Can you make it beep if you're happy here with your family? Would you have the light's on, okay. Would you rather move on to the light though? To allow your spirit to heal and move on? Make that go off if you would. Touch it again. Plenty of energy on the couch over there for you to grab and then come back and make this work. The light goes off. Said? Is that what it said? They already said it? You know what they're telling me? I already said that? So you already said that? Okay, I understand.
that's not a spirit, it's standing right behind you.
What?
That's a spirit standing right behind you.
Are you right behind me? Make the flashlight go off if you're right behind me. Is the other spirit right behind me?
And that's right in front of you.
Is the other... Are you trying to communicate those messages? Are you here because you didn't know that you had passed away at the time? Yep.
Was it in her sleep or?
No, she
She had terminal breast cancer, so she was already conscious. She found out later on it was too late.
So were you confused when you died and you weren't sure that you were dead at the time? Is that how you got stuck here? Did you see the light when you passed away? You did.
What did it say?
Steven?
That's Auntie Maria's husband.
Oh.
So, okay, so my sister Maria, that used to live up here with my brother-in-law Steve and the my two nieces, okay, she lived here for many years. They finally moved to Florida because they got a job down there.
0.3, 0.4.
She died. We never got the answer of how she died.
Very suspicious.
It was very suspicious death on my sister.
They always kind of
Claiming supposedly it was a heart attack. But yet when my sisters flew down, because she was on life support when they got there, my brother-in-law pulled her off life support.
so couldn't take it.
Oh.
So we
it's
always
not up.
suspected that she,
Very suspicious death.
very suspicious death.
And he instantly got in your relationship.
And
literally.
like my sister wasn't even buried and he was already hooked up with somebody.
Yeah.
Are you making this go off because that's true?
That's one thing we've always wanted to
We've
know.
always wanted her, and because she just put Steven, that's her husband, by all standards.
We cut him out, like no one.
He don't even deal with his own daughters anymore. Oh my God.
Is that true? Is that why you're making this go
Upstairs,
off?
and upstairs.
She
She lives up here.
She lives, he,
0.5, 0.6, 0.7.
which he died. We never got an actual answer for how she died.
They said heart attack.
They said heart attack, but yet when he contacted my sisters, they said, oh, you can come down because she's on life support. And my sister's plane landed, and they got to the hospital, and he'd already pulled life support before my sisters got to see her.
Very
True.
Make that go up again if that's true. Was she murdered by her husband? Make that go up 0.2, 0.3. Keep going all the way up to confirm that's true.
We always suspected it, but we could never. We always suspected it, but we could never prove it.
Yeah, we need to get
Oh,
the.
is that just blast up right?
No, we need to get the voice.
What did it say?
now. We need to get that. Like, that's the answer that they need to hear, so it's not showing box, I would say.
We could never,
Okay, your own voice.
prove it, you know what I'm saying? But we always had our suspicion.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, whoa, that's just right to 1.2. Look, right now. They are confirming it, you guys, that's excellent.
Did it go
Good
back
job,
down to
thank you
zero?
for that.
Did it go back down to zero?
Yeah, oh, it's down to 0.1, 0.2, 0.3.
May. That's my grandma's birthday month.
Yeah, it's my mother's birthday month, May.
Back down to zero.
Really?
Yeah, like everything out of there is like really.
It's right on.
Yeah, right on, yeah, and then usually like, it's
Just between you and me, the Stephen name just blew my mind.
Yeah.
That's crazy. The
Right
Rachel
upstairs,
earlier,
the
you got
Rachel.
away from that?
And then the
You
Stephen
got away from
upstairs.
that? 0.8. Oh, double zero.
I'm gonna take a little bit.
Oh.
What did it say?
That's going to double zero. 0.3, 0.4. Are you touching that device? Yeah, look. Boom. There's two little arrows on.
But there's something really close to it now, because it's going up to 0.3, 0.5, 0.6. And when it turns red, turns down
So you like
1.9,
it,
now you know,
like,
it's actually
boom, then like,
1.6. Yeah. Or like really close to it.
double zero, see?
Recluse.
But we sure it's not.
See, we like when multiple things are happening, going on,
Yeah.
because it proves something paranormal is going on. One thing
It's not
could be an
just one-
aberration.
yeah.
That could never get, another thing, that's a flashlight turning on, the mag light.
Oh, yeah. The
It's a simple
flashlight,
mag
it's so simple, it's just.
I even put on a tripod to isolate it from anything.
Yeah.
Well, I'll just take turns asking questions. So, who's ever here communicating with us, this light right here is a device that we can hear your voice if you yell really loud into it.
Even though we had received multiple EVPs on our video audio track during the investigation so far, during the actual EVP session on our voice recorder, it is at this point that we receive our only and most compelling EVP of the night. Here it is, directly from the voice recorder. You are not going to believe your ears.
Well, I'll just take turns asking questions. So, who's ever here communicating with us, this light right here is a device that we can hear your voice if you yell really loud into it. I'm actually going to put it over here like this right here. Do you see this?
What's amazing about that scream that you just heard is that you can even hear the breath at the end as if the person's mouth was right up against the voice recorder. Now let's watch everybody's reaction in real time.
I can hear your voice if you yell really loud into it. I'm actually going to put it over here like this. This right here.
Oh my God.
Do you see
You
this?
hear yelling?
No, I
You
don't
see my hand, what I'm holding?
miss that?
Shut that off if you see this.
Something to scream
See
into
this
the
right
phone?
here?
Yeah, I heard
Shaking
it.
it.
I'll tell you what. I did not expect that scream to come out of the voice recorder when we reviewed it live. I didn't show the whole EVP session because that was the only EVP we got on the voice recorder. You know, we didn't know all these other ones were being recorded on the cameras. But on the voice recorder, it's just really compelling. My favorite word, compelling, that when I say you need to yell really loud for us to hear you, that scream comes through the voice recorder. And what I try to impress on my voiceover is that you can hear the breath of whoever is doing that screaming at the end, like the exhale, the like, which was really, really crazy. And you know, Marissa even, you know, did her due diligence to make sure that it wasn't some sort of other technical issue, and it absolutely was not. Nobody's screaming at the time. I could take that voice recorder and slam it off the wall, and it wouldn't produce a sound like that. That is somebody screaming into the voice recorder, and it was absolutely insane. Now, the other really interesting thing about that video segment is when the subject of their the relative Jessica's aunt is brought up and her mysterious death, even though it didn't occur in that house. Everything went nuts. The flashlight went berserk in the background, the EMF detector, there's crazy EVPs saying bad and I know, and all sorts of relevant things. The paralyst was saying, the paralyst said the husband's name, which started off the whole thing. And you can see both ladies getting really, really upset and emotional about it, as I would too if I thought my aunt or sister had been murdered by her husband. Now, the longer that subject went on, it seemed like the crazier the responses got. Now, in our opinion, we don't know everything about the paranormal. We think that normally somebody has to be trapped at a location that has to pretty much die there. But we also think that spirits somehow communicate through some almost like World Wide Web network where they can get answers through the spirit world about each other and about each other's situations.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know exactly what was going on there, whether we firmly believe that Jessica's grandmother is in the house, bar none, period. But I think that somehow Jessica's grandmother had the down low.
I think she was upset about the situation. I don't think.
Of course she would be.
I don't think it was her.
That's her daughter, I think, wasn't it? Who got right? If it's Jessica's mom's sister, that would be the grandmother's daughter. So if my daughter was murdered, I'd be upset. And if I could find out somehow through the spirit world and communicate that.
The EVP said, I know, and it said bad.
Well, I threw the guy's name out, first of all,
Steven.
which is what really popped it off. It's the only name that came out of the palace the entire night. So I think the ladies were onto something, absolutely. Had all the equipment not gone berserk? Maybe not, but it's crazy. What is this? She is with us. Oh, Susie, you heard her confirming things we always suspected. I love you. What? And my aunt passed 6 months after my, so very close together. Yeah, listen, again, we don't know everything about the spirit world. I definitely 100% think Jessica's grandmother's there. And one way or another, she had the information on that murder, which was absolutely blew my mind. If the aunt's there too, that's even more incredible. You know, like I said, certainly very, very, very emotional situation and very compelling answers. Now, before we get to the last video here, I don't know if there was any other comments or questions. Crazy scream, guys. Hey, thanks, Brandon.
Hey, Brandon.
Yeah, really crazy scream. Yeah, it really it startled everybody because you don't expect to hear something like that come out of the voice recorder.
Well, especially since I thought we were communicating with all women.
Well, it sounds like an angry woman. It almost sounded like somebody. It sounded like somebody who took my advice, wanted to be known, and was like, okay, you want me to yell into the voice recorder? I'm going to yell into the voice recorder.
Yeah.
You know, but really just certainly made their presence known. For sure. But if that is all for the questions and comments, please, we'll run this last video. It's pretty raw video, but I wanted to leave it that way because, again, it was a very personal investigation. In this last part, we caught some really crazy stuff on the SLS 3D mapping camera with Jessica right there. And I kind of wanted to leave it raw like that so you could kind of experience it as we all did. So let's roll this last video, and then we'll be back. And if you have any questions or comments, be happy to answer them. Enjoy.
That's crazy.
So, question. There are different voices. Is it different people or the same person?
It could be different people. It could be, it's most likely different people.
I got somebody on the TV.
Use the same voice.
Right in front of the spirit box. Who's right in front of the spirit box?
What do you have over there?
Somebody's in front, holding in front of the spirit box.
Mapped over there?
Correct. Yep. See that person?
Who's in front of the box right now? Who's in front of the middle window? Could you give us your name?
Okay, I'll take this out. Right in front of your TV. Who is that right in front of me? It's who? You have a long arm. You're right in front of me, huh?
You heard that, right?
Who's an asshole? Who's an asshole? Said you, Todd.
How many times Dr. Maria would say
Oh
asshole?
my God.
I used to always say asshole.
What's your favorite word?
That was your favorite word. Maria, is that you?
Me. Oh, gone. Help. Who needs help? Yes. Who's the... Who's the human spirit here? Oh my God,
Charlotte?
Listen, I got like a portal here.
Blue?
Is there a portal right in front of me? Yes, look at it, look at it. It's like pulsing. I've never seen that before. That is crazy.
Oh my God,
Look at it.
that is weird.
It's pulsing. Right in front of me? Yes. That's where the thing came out of too. Whoa, look, it just disappeared. That thing's not there anymore, look.
No, I just seen it. It's gone.
It's gone. Crazy, right? I see you. Can you wave? Can you wave like this? Wave. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Can you wave your hand like this?
Is it waving?
Oh my God.
Is she waving?
Clear
Oh.
something.
Look. Hi. There's nothing there. It's right next to the round pond. Can you make one of those devices go off?
She's using this right
Oh, there
here.
you go.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Can you touch that long, skinny silver pole right there? It won't harm you. It's just gonna make some noises
Oh, look,
and
it
flash
goes off
flash
again.
some lights.
That's clearly something. Wow.
It's floating too. That is tree floating. Let's see, sometimes you see it looks like they have their feet on the floor.
Yeah. Emmy, is that you?
Yeah.
Ask her if she's done. Emmy, are you tired?
Hmm.
Emmy, do you want to move on?
This is affecting the temperature too. 67, 66, 67, 66, 1.4.
She wants to move on.
You can move on. She'll always be in your heart.
Don't cry. Do you want to hear your voice again? Yeah. Do you like communicating through that box so you can hear your voice?
Can't believe it. That's a long time for something to remain on the camera.
You can't tell if that's like an adult figure or a young figure.
It's just like a crazy figure. Hard to tell. Even in the paranormal world, you just never know. I can tell you it's a feeler because there's nothing there that would cause a false positive.
No, there's nothing.
It's floating.
Can you make the temperature go down to 666?
Why would you ask it to do that?
Because it's been at 66.9 for a long time. It's going from 66.9 to 6.1.
Can you wave right there? Do you understand? Can you wave? One of my goals is to prove to the world that you exist so I can better get help for you. A lot of people don't believe that you're real. When that's the case, when people try to get help for themselves or for the spirits, they get laughed at. So if you could just give me a wave, it would go a long way to proving that you're real. Can you wave? Can you shake my hand? Can you come forth and shake my hand? Go ahead, come forth and shake my hand. It's cold right there. Can you shake my hand? See my hand right there? Come shake it. Oh look, you shook my hand! Look!
Is it?
Yeah, look, see? It's like it's hand out.
Not a she, it's a she. Because we know that there's all she's in here.
Can you shake my hand again? Oh, thank you. That is actually a small figure. Can you shake my hand to say hi? It got like really cold and then I saw whatever it is moving.
Do you like playing with Ben's toys?
Emmy, do you steal his paw?
Oh, look, it moved its hand away from me. It moved its body away, look. That's my hand right here. See my hand right there? Oh, it's the other side, it's the opposite on this camera. See it on that side?
Yeah.
Look. Yeah, look. See how it moved away from it?
Yep.
That's crazy, right? You touching my hand? I can feel you. Oh my god, it's cold over there.
It's cold over
It
here.
feels like I'm sticking my hand in the freezer right now. You making my hand cold? It is cold over
I
there.
just got a shiver.
Good grief. Is that you making it cold? You taking the thermal energy out of the air?
That's just insane.
That's lasting this long?
They never last that long?
No.
Emmy, are you at
Yeah.
peace?
for us sometimes, because of all the energy in the air,
Yeah.
but
She's got
on
peace.
TV they don't give them that type of energy, so usually in the last second. What's that? Shoot with that camera.
I have it shooting over there. I want to take some photos real quick.
No. They take photos from all the way around.
Yeah.
Wow. What are you doing over there? Are you still over that toe? Yeah, kind of. Is that you? Making that device go off? I mean, that is bonkers too. This was quite bananas, The fact that it was moving away from my handle was pretty compelling. Oh, look, it moved away on this side now. Look, do you see that? Look at that. Look, it's pushed down on my hand. Do you see that?
Yeah, I see that.
That is crazy. Look at that. Wow. I've never seen that type of interaction before. Are you curious? You nod your head like this? Oh, look, it moved its head down. The spirit moved its head down. You don't know what it is, my son.
Emmy, is that you that he sees?
Right. You shake your head like this to say yes or no. That's crazy.
It's just totally crazy. That just blows my mind so bad.
But that going off, the figure of
All of it. All of it. Everything in general.
I thought I was just losing my mind experiencing what we're experiencing.
I told you over the phone won't lose your mind. You've experienced way too much over the years.
You are losing your mind, but it is actually not. It's actually reality. Definitely.
Are you saying hi over here? You still take off or climb off the wall and disappear or something. They're just chilling. It's like this. Look at that. Look at that. Move right out of the way. Move right out of the way. As if they're right there, right in front of me. For them to do that, they're right here. I'm sorry, I don't mean to do that. They're literally right here. They're right here, Mister. Look. They're right here, like directly in front of me. If I stick my hand out, they move out of the way, so that is a small figure. Watch my hand, watch. See, look at that, duck's right under my hand.
Oh, she ducked.
Duck under my hand, that is crazy. And that tried to kick at me. Yeah, that's crazy, look. Oh my God, I just saw like an orb with my eye. Look, and they're laughing, they're like up that thing's laughing. Look, see? That's crazy, look at that, moves right out of the way. Oh, sorry, my bad. Oh. You don't know what to make of that? I'm just being friendly, that's all. Look at that. Look, the thing's going nuts.
Can you touch Mummy's hand?
Are you upset? If you go around the side, you'll be able to see it. Just be careful not to block the screen.
Did you really touch Mummy's hand?
Yeah, right there, yeah?
This thing's going off like crazy now.
Yeah. It's like its arm in your hand.
Your fingers feel like they're tingling?
Yeah.
They do, yeah.
This whole, like that whole hand and arm in your hand. That thing's going bonkers.
Oh my God.
That thing's going bonkers.
No wonder your other kids don't sleep. She parties all night with them.
That device is on a plastic tote in the middle of the room with nothing near it. The flashlight's off, the flashlight doesn't set off anyway. That is crazy.
It would make sense why your children don't sleep at night, Jess.
Wow, that's up to 2.2. See that, Todd?
Goodness, man, yeah, of course.
She's got some power.
Most yet, but the figure's also manifested here on camera for 10 minutes.
I know.
That is crazy.
I could wake up your husband and have him come up with you. We just didn't call him. He's always asleep.
You don't think you'd want to see this?
Oh, you don't understand. My son-in-law, I love him to
She'll
death.
see it all on video tomorrow.
Yeah.
I love my son-in-law to death, but when he sleeps like a rock.
All that from all different angles and all the weird stuff that happened that we didn't see.
Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all these cameras. We'll have to review them all and send everything over to you.
And it's over here now, look.
That is her brother's blanket.
What the hell? It's dancing on top of the thing there.
That is her brother's blanket on there, on the
Look at
TV.
that, it moves all the way over here. That thing's just going bonkers. What are you doing? Just sitting on your TV stand now, look. Like chilling. Look at that. Oh, it's in front of the vortex. I get it. It's sucking up the power over there. Are you sucking up the energy?
Oh,
Look,
before you moved, there was like a little orb in this camera.
Over there? Nope, gone. Gone. Look at that. Gone. So like that whole same spot, look. Gone.
All right. So a couple of quick things on the SLS 3D mapping camera. Okay. You saw two huge differences between the two figures that were represented on that camera during that video. The first one was bigger than Jess's entertainment center and TV, probably taller than me even, was huge, absolutely huge.
Mhm.
Its arm width was wider than the whole entertainment center, was absolutely massive. I don't know exactly what that was. I don't know if there was even an answer as to what that was, but the point is the second figure was over that toe where the EMF detector was. And as soon as that figure appeared, the EMF detector started going absolutely nuts.
Mhm.
And for it to beep like that, it's a very rare occurrence, unless you're stuck it on top of like an electrical panel or something for it to do that. Like that was constant high energy spikes the entire time. And the figure was slightly bigger than my hand. So let's think about that for a second. Now, not to get into Jess's business, but she mentioned the name Emmy several times. Emmy was Jessica's daughter that unfortunately passed. The baby passed before she was born.
Mhm.
So that's kind of what makes the fact that figure was so small kind of so compelling to the thought that Emmy is there in that house, because the figure honestly was tiny.
Yeah, like 10 inches. Now we don't normally
We don't see figures that small.
Well, right, but I would never think that that would be possible. I guess for
It's mind blowing
an
that
unborn,
it is
like an
that it is.
unborn spirit to still
It's
have
something we never even thought of
right,
before.
right. It wasn't.
But now that you see that
And-
evidence, like it opens up that whole
and the name
thought
Emmy
process
came
and
through several times.
a few times actually. A few
And
times.
I mean, yeah, I suppose any spirit could be using that name, but
to show up that size, usually when we see a human spirit like sitting in a chair, it'll, even if it's a small spirit, it will still look like a person sitting in a chair.
right. But that, I mean, we're talking like
When we see demonic entities, they go from the floor to the ceiling. They're 14 feet tall. This fell right in line and was answering intelligently through the EMF detector to the name Emmy, to the questions Jessica and her mom were asking. Like that thing was going off in response to the questions, which falls in line with a theory that some things may just transcend death, like language. Like if somebody only knows Italian and they pass, do they know English and Chinese? Can they answer in any language? Well, maybe this transcends death as well.
right.
It's really quite quite.
It's just a lot to think
It's
about.
mind blowing. It really is. It really is.
It's
It's
just
hard for me to
another-
wrap my mind around, but it's all the evidence fell that way. And it certainly brought Jessica some comfort. So I am glad that. My bad. I forgot to turn off my ringer there. I'm glad that happened because
it gives us something else to think about.
Well, just from Jessica's standpoint, it was the one thing that I really saw besides her grandmother that really seemed to give her some peace of mind. And I believe it's so, having watched the video several times, especially now again for like the third or fourth time, seeing the size, seeing the responses, and the way the EMF detector reacted, it must be so. And like we always say, we don't know everything about the paranormal, but it's just something. Sometimes, let's put it this way, sometimes the answers bring more questions.
Yeah.
Bring more questions. And even though it brings more questions, it makes our heart feel good that it made Jessica feel good. What is that? Okay, so what's the deal with the stick men in the blue blob?
Oh, well, the stick figures are
No, what does she mean? The first stick figure?
Well, I think she wants to know what the stick figures are. So basically,
no, she's asking about the first one.
Okay, the blue blob was what we thought was a portal.
No, the blue blob was a portal. It looked like a portal.
The
vortex was on.
Yeah.
The spirit box was on.
Oh, yeah.
I saw something to me that looked like a portal. We hear all the time that the power plant energy boxes thin the veil between the spirit world and ours and can open up portals. I saw something that looked like a portal, and I was hearing coming out of the vortex spirit box that it was opening up a portal. I said, "Is it a portal?" It said, "Yes, it is." And then it says,
"It's a real portal."
It says it's a real portal. It's open up a portal, and then you see it shrink and disappear. It reappears and shrinks, and I think it took the stick man. It took whatever that spirit was with it.
Did it?
Yeah, I think whatever it was. As I mentioned at the beginning of this episode, something negative did come through, but it seemed to go away, and the atmosphere seemed to change over the course of the investigation.
Yeah.
The energy boxes that I invented use crystals, quartz crystals, which when bombarded by electromagnetic energy, can cause time slips, portals, things like that, which is what they believe, like the Bermuda Triangle is the Bridgewater Triangle. The Loch Ness Monster, Loch Ness is made out of quartz. It's got a high earth electromagnetic energy field there. And at certain times when that field is high enough and it blasts the quartz, it may cause a time slip that allows the Loch Ness Monster to be seen. And it's just a time slip.
Well, there's no doubt in my mind that what you've created.
That's what I based the whole invention on.
Can absolutely cause portals. We've heard it many times. We've seen it.
We have pictures of it. We have things. So the blue blob, the blue thing, that's in our opinion, it's a portal.
It's a portal.
Spirits confirmed it, and whatever that was.
The stick figure that came in and went out with it, went back out. So.
The gist of it is this: the spirit world runs parallel to our world. It is like a veil, a curtain, and at certain times, in certain places, under circumstances, a door can open up between that world and ours, and things can come through. That's why certain times we hear disembodied voices, which are voices we hear with our own ears.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes they're EVPs, where they're imprinted on digital technology. Sometimes people see full body apparitions. I've seen them. Marissa's seen them.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes they come through as white mist. Sometimes they're a shadow figure. Sometimes there's nothing.
Sometimes they're clear as day, like in color, like you can see them just like one of us.
Sometimes we turn on the SLS camera. It runs for 3 hours and nothing happens.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes in this location, there was no orbs. Not one. So, people say, oh, it's dust. Well, there was no orbs there. There's no orbs there. But then we go some places and there's flashing balls of light flying all around the screen. Again, there's no hard and fast answers to it. But in our opinion, yeah, what you saw there was a representation on a 3D mapping camera of a portal. I can't explain a pulsing portal-looking thing disappearing, taking a stick figure with it. And at the same time, spirit voices are coming through and believe me, the vortex is spirit voices. It is direct communication, and it is as clear as can be. And if Brandon or Manny or Jessica, all who have investigated with us now, want to pop back on and tell them what the vortex is, because that is the real deal. That is direct communication. There's nothing phony. There's nothing fake about it. And anybody who thinks it is welcome to come along anytime and experience it for themselves. Believe me, experience it for yourself anytime. Okay. It's just another invention that I came up with through the help of the spirits somehow. And it works. It works. There's other people that have experienced our investigations that will tell you the same thing. Jessica and her mom asked direct questions of that vortex spirit box and got direct answers. Brandon, Manny, they know. They've spent enough time around it. So, but again, that's just my answer on the blue blob and that stick man. It's just something that came through our portal that closed up as fast as it opened. And the vortex confirmed it. And I saw it. It just was something quick I saw, and that's what I thought it was. And it was crazy to see. I've never seen anything appear like that on an SLS camera before, ever. Crazy stuff. So, as far as the investigation goes, that's it. We're very happy that Jessica and her mom got some closure. I did have a seizure last week, so you're gonna give me a break on that one. Did get validation, got some comfort, and yeah, I think that was Jess's daughter at the end there. I don't have any other explanation for it, and I hope that does make her feel good, because it made me feel good once I saw when I stuck my hand out and I saw the figure moving around my hand and saw how small it was, and the thought started to occur to me, and then the question started to get answered. It really, it took me a minute to wrap my mind around it, but it really I started to believe it was so at that moment, and really just mind-blowing stuff. Every investigation brings something new, believe me. And, it's one of the reasons why we keep pushing so hard. I mean, we did 4 investigations this month. Yeah. And we have some crazy ones coming up. We're doing a public ghost hunt at, the Oliver House next weekend. I don't know if there's any tickets left, but we're leading a public ghost hunt at the Oliver House in Middleborough this Saturday. And then we're doing another personal case after that. And then we are doing the Burlington County Prison Museum, prison built in 1810. The following week, we have the prison all to ourselves. It is going to be Marissa and I for 6 hours locked down for real in a prison, our first prison that we've ever going to be doing. And we're going to have it all to ourselves for 6 hours, and it's going to be nuts, and we are going to litter that place with equipment. We're going to blow it up.
We should dress up as prisoners.
Maybe one of us be a guard and one of us be a prisoner.
Yes.
I don't know. We did invite Marissa's sister and her brother-in-law, who is a prison guard, to come.
But if he doesn't make it, we're definitely going to
I hope he does make it, because he's a real prison guard, and if he don't want to wear his uniform, maybe I'll wear it, and I don't know. I just want to see what kind of response it gets. Experiments. But if there's no more questions or comments, it's great to be on again. It's great to be alive. Believe me, cherish every day above ground is a good one. One more thing before we go. We have somebody in character tonight. It is 2 days before Halloween, so come on, Miss Julia, and say bye to everybody. Okay, Julia went to school today in her Halloween costume. Her witch hat is not on, but
nope,
scoot over. She is dressed up. Stand up. Show everybody a costume. You come on in, stand up, do a little twirl. Julia's got her witch costume on. Really awesome costume. All right, come on back over, lady. There you go. She's got her broom. She's got to get her broom.
Okay.
And as always, come on, scoot in here. From our family to yours, thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for viewing. Thank you for commenting. We love you guys. We love doing the show. It's a blast. And we will see you next week for another episode of Wickedly Haunted. And Jessica, thank you for coming on.
Thanks, Jess.
And we're happy to help you out. Anytime you need anything, you know how to get a hold of us. Everybody have a great weekend and a happy Halloween, everybody. Happy Halloween. We do live in a haunted house.
Yes, we do.
All right, say happy Halloween, Julia.
Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween, everyone. Have a great weekend.
Have a great weekend.
Bye.